Today I'm going to go over the 6 main reasons that I personally went into ophthalmology. What is up? Zach here with Dr. Eyeball MD. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, I'm a second going on 3rd year ophthalmology resident. I will be a 3rd year in just a few days. And on this channel, I talk about everything related to medical school residency ophthalmology, most specifically, and getting into ophthalmology fellowships, all that kind of cool stuff about medicine. And occasionally I'll sprinkle in some productivity stuff and some tech review type stuff just because I find that stuff interesting. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and I come out with stuff all the time. So in today's video, what I'm going to be going over are the 6 main reasons that I personally went into ophthalmology. These reasons aren't reasons that I think you should go into ophthalmology or that I think you shouldn't go into ophthalmology. These are just what I personally valued in the specialty and why I went into it. So take these with a grain of salt. These are just my personal opinions and why I liked ophthalmology specifically. So I was at first just gonna make this 5 things, but then I kept coming up with more stuff. So I just decided to go with 6 things that I liked about it. So the first reason, and kind of one of the main reasons for me, is that I wanted to be a surgeon. I wanted to operate, I wanted to use my hands, and mostly I just wanted a tangible physical skill. So there are a few main things that make a physician valuable in my opinion, and those are your ability to think and your knowledge and ability to reason and problem solve about a specific topic that most people don't have a lot of knowledge about. So that's one thing that you have as a doctor, is your ability to reason and the knowledge that you learn. And then the second thing that some physicians will go on to develop, particularly surgeons, is that they develop a skill, a real tangible physical skill that they can do through procedures and through surgery. And for me, I was more looking for that. To me, that was really the coolest thing. I kind of looked at becoming a surgeon in the same way you would look at going to trade school and actually learning a skill. I just found that in my mind very valuable to have a physical, tangible skill that I would have forever. Once I mastered it, I would have it, and that was important to me. And that's not necessarily something that you have to have as a doctor, obviously, but to me personally, I wanted that physical, tangible skill. And ophthalmology specifically, I thought was one of the more beautiful, more elegant types of surgeries, and I just thought it was really cool to, if you could do those kinds of surgeries, in my mind, it was kind of the pinnacle of finesse in surgery. And I know a lot of other surgical specialties have that as well, like neurosurgery, vascular surgery, and just in any type of surgical subspecialty, there's gonna be those surgeries that require that. But in my mind, at least, ophthalmic surgery, just because it's on a micro level, done under a microscope, it was really a beautiful type of surgery, and I just thought it would be really super cool to have that skill. And so that was one of the main reasons that I personally picked ophthalmology. The second reason is I wanted to feel like I was a specialist. I wanted to be not so much a jack of all trades, master of none type. I wanted to master one thing, and I wanted to be good at that thing. I didn't really necessarily want to be pretty good at a lot of stuff. I just wanted to be good at something, And so ophthalmology kind of offers that. You can be really subspecialized, really focused, and actually get really good at a very specific thing. And for me, specialties like emergency medicine, internal medicine are obviously incredibly important, and they know so much more than I could probably ever know, but I wanted to really focus in, really just be zeroed in on one thing and be kind of the go-to person for that thing. And that's just a different mindset that I think people have. So try to figure that out within yourself. If you are that kind of person wanting super focus on something, or you want to be really good at a lot of things and able to kind of take care of people as a whole, those are 2 very divergent paths. And for me, I wanted the focus path, so that's why I picked ophthalmology. And it probably doesn't get more focused than ophthalmology. It's one of the most subspecialized subspecialties I think that there is. Just because it's so focused on the eye, and then within that, we can subspecialize in like 7 or 8 different fellowships and subspecialties. We've essentially divided the eyeball itself up into like its component parts, so you can really kind of go Russian doll style on this and just go in and in on itself and really subspecialize within the specialty. But anyways, that's for another video. So that's number 2. I wanted to be really good at one thing. The third reason is that there are a lot of opportunities within ophthalmology. Like I just alluded to, there are a lot of subspecialties within ophthalmology. Going forward with this channel, we will cover some of those specific subspecialties and try to interview some of the fellows and subspecialists that have chosen those. But ophthalmology not only offers a lot of divergent paths within itself that a lot of people don't realize, it also is so technology driven that it allows for innovation. And so if you are kind of in that realm, if that is in your interest of kind of product design or drug design, it's a very cutting edge field. It's always very progressive and changing very rapidly. And so I kind of like that about ophthalmology. It just seemed like it was very new, very changing, and very forward thinking and moving. And to me, that made it exciting. Maybe some people aren't looking for that in a specialty, but I thought it was exciting. And so that was another reason that I wanted to do ophthalmology. Number 4 is the work-life balance. And for whatever reason in medicine, it is almost a taboo subject or topic to consider a work-life balance. We are kind of just ingrained to think that we should be work, and valuing your family time or your kind of your time outside of medicine as important. For a while was kind of just not so much talked about. And you know, the recent years, it has become a lot more talked about, work-life balance, wellness, that kind of thing in medicine. But for a while, I feel like it was kind of a taboo subject. But anyways, I'm just gonna say it is important. And you should have hobbies outside of medicine. You should have values outside of medicine. And so ophthalmology offers that. It's a super cool specialty. It's a surgical field that doesn't necessarily take everything away from you to do it. And so that was important to me. It was a way to do surgery, a super cool surgery, and not necessarily give up every other aspect of your life. That was important to me. If it's important to you, I would definitely look into it. The 5th thing, as I'm making this video, I'm coming up with more in my head. So we're gonna do 7 in the end here. But anyways, number 5 is it offered good outcomes. One of the cool things about ophthalmic surgery is that you can have patients that are essentially very well patients, healthy patients, and you can take them from good to better. It's not always trying to salvage something terrible. You can actually have very happy patients with very good outcomes from the surgeries, particularly things like cataract surgery, refractive surgery. You know, there is another side to it with glaucoma and retina, where a lot of times we're just trying to maintain vision. So that was another thing, is ophthalmology offers really good outcomes for patients. And maybe just my kind of naive juvenile way of looking at it as a medical student, it was a happier specialty in that regard. It wasn't always such sick people. And I'm very glad that we have people to take care of things like that, like my wife, who is a med peds resident. But for me, I just kind of looked at ophthalmology as a happier specialty where people could be super satisfied with their outcomes. And so that was kind of one of the reasons that I actually liked it. Number 6 is I like seeing the pathology. In a lot of medical specialties, things like neurology, internal medicine, you know, a lot of things are more just kind of cerebral and thought-driven, but with ophthalmology, it's something you are looking at. You're actually seeing what is wrong, and I really like that. I considered doing dermatology and even pathology for a little while, and I think that was because of the same reason, is because you are looking at what is going wrong, and I really just like that visual aspect of it. It just makes it more concrete in my mind as to what's going on. It's not always so esoteric, so abstract. It's, oh, that's what's going on. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm gonna fix it. And so it's a very visual specialty, and that was something that I really liked about it. And building off of that, it kind of meant that the better you could get at an exam, the better you could diagnose people, the better you could treat people. So I really liked the fact that the physical exam was so important and that you could actually get good enough at it to really improve your diagnostic skills, which would lead to better treatment and things like that. So the fact that it's such a visual subspecialty was super important to me and something I really liked. So number 7, which really just kind of occurred to me as I was making this video, is it really lends itself well to mission work. I've done that in the past and I really liked it. And ophthalmology really offers you that chance to go to, you know, countries where patients don't have as good access to care, and you can just crank out a ton of cataracts. And these are cataracts that are white cataracts, mature cataracts, and take people from essentially being blind to just almost crystal clear vision within the span of minutes, and you can do it on a mass scale. And I don't know where else in medicine you can find that, and that was something that was super cool to me. And so moving forward in my career, I hope to, if I don't get the chance as a third-year resident, I definitely would like to, in fellowship or soon into private practice after fellowship, to be a part of the Himalayan Cataract Project, and go do those cataract surgeries in places like Nepal. I find that super cool, and I think a lot of people in ophthalmology are attracted to how well it lends itself to that kind of mission work. All right, guys, those are the 7, I guess, main things that I liked about ophthalmology and the reasons that I picked it. These are just my personal preferences, so if you value any of those things yourself, maybe consider ophthalmology, look into it. Anyways, I hope you guys found that video helpful. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel. I'm Zach with Dr. Eyeball MD, and I will see you guys in the next video.